What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Blunt guy. Hey! And we are back again with another chapter reaction. Today we will be reacting to One Piece chapter 1056. But before I get into that, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Also, comment down below what are your thoughts on this chapter and my opinion on this chapter, right? Also, follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. And follow me on Facebook. Also, join the Discord. Everything will be down below. All right, so let's get into it. I don't want to. Everybody's seen the last chapter. The last chapter was good. We got some Shanks stuff. We got some Shanks Conquerors hockey, some Green Bull. It was a great chapter last time. Let's get into it. Let's get into this chapter. All right, so this is chapter 1056, Cross Guild. I'm looking at this cover page, right? Oh boy. I'm looking at this cover page. We got Katakuri and Oven. Katakuri and Oven both taking on the Vinsmoke brothers, Ichiji, Niji, and Yonji. So I'm guessing this is the continuance of the cover story. I thought we was done this cover story. I thought we was done this German 6-6 cover story, but I guess we're not. It says Katakuri and Oven arrive. So I guess last time we seen them, they was out causing chaos. Now, bam, Katakuri stepped in and like, no sir, no sir. Hey, I'm a little jealous though, because I kind of want to see this fight. I want to see this fight, how it turns out. Like, I want to see like a full-on fight with Katakuri and Oven against the Vinsmokes, right? Throwing Daifuku, because it's even though I don't think they need Daifuku or Cracker, But why is it Oven and not Cracker? Why is it Katakuri and Oven and not Cracker? Is Cracker in Wano at the moment? Was he on that ship in Wano? I know Smoothie was. I don't remember ever seeing Cracker on that ship though. I do remember seeing Smoothie. So where is Cracker? I would think that the two top commanders, like the two sweet commanders currently in Whole Cake Island, would be the ones to handle the Vinsmokes. But it kind of goes to show Oven, right? Oven is kind of the most effective big mom pirate. Like, not the most effective outside of the sweet commanders, outside of Katakuri at least. Because Katakuri gets stuff done. Like, he's not just going to sit around. Peril Sparrow as well. Peril Sparrow as well. Smoothie doesn't get stuff done, right? So I kind of think she could end up being replaced as a sweet commander. But Oven, when we was in Whole Cake Island, Oven was proactive in everything. You know what I'm saying? He was probably one of the most proactive characters. Peril Sparrow as well. Peril Sparrow was trying to get Big Mom, from, prevent her from destroying Whole Cake Island. So Peril Sparrow was proactive, Katakuri was proactive, Oven was proactive. Smoothie, not so much. Daifuku kinda. But yeah, let's get to this chapter. The party in the Flower Capital is over. Hang in there, Razo. Just look how gaunt you are. Don't die, Shinobu. What terrible sorcery. All right, we see Razo like shriveled up, and Shinobu, I'm assuming that Shinobu shriveled up as well. As much as I hate to admit it, the man had a point. Kaido was a tyrant, but at the same time, his presence kept enemies away. Kinemon says, alas, I am sorry all of this was happening while I was away in Curry, and I had no idea. Nekomamushi says, hey, what's done is done, and the damage was minimal, all thanks to Lord Momonosuke. And how was Otsuru? I mean, it wasn't thanks to Momonosuke. It was really thanks to Shanks. But again, they, I don't think they was even aware of what really happened. You know, I don't even. Maybe they felt the Conqueror's Haki, or maybe they felt the Conqueror's Haki and they thought it was Momonosuke's Conqueror's Haki, or presence, or whatever. I'm not sure, but I don't think they was aware that it was Shanks, because not even Luffy. Like Luffy felt the Haki, and Jinbei and Zoro and Sanji as well. They felt the Haki, but they weren't necessarily aware of who it was coming from. You know, based on Luffy's comment, he says it felt familiar, but he didn't outright say that was Shanks. So they just felt the thing, and I'm assuming that's the same with the Scabbards. I think Momonosuke was yelling at the time, so they might have thought it came from Momonosuke. Is what I'm assuming. Kinemon says Okaburo Town burned to the ground, and Suru has a terrible burn on her face, but she is alive and well. Otsuru, is it true? Has Ken come back? Yes, although he's returned to the capital for now. So, okay, so they still haven't really had that reunion. You know, Osuru and Kinemon. Kinemon went to go visit Osuru, but I guess she was passed out, or, you know, not conscious, because she even asked like, "Oh, Ken came back," you know. So Kinemon or Osuru wasn't really aware of Kinemon's Kinemon being around. The old lady says, "You're from the capital too. You should go to him." Osuru says, "I know. I want to be at his side too." You know, so maybe we'll still get an actual official reunion with Kinemon and Osuru, because that's definitely one of them things that it kind of needs to happen. You know, that's one reason why it's good that Kinemon didn't die in the fight, even though I think Kinemon's death would have been the most impactful of all the Scabbards if he did die. But if he would have died, there would have never been that reunion with him and Osuru. You know, which, you know, it could have been, that could have been a story in itself, right? It could have been a story in itself. Her learning that Kinemon was actually in Wano this whole time, but he ended up dying in the fight with Kaido and the Beast Pirates. So there's that. Kinemon says, "I have to say, after 20 years, she's still just as beautiful." Inu says, "Hey, dogs like cheese, but not that much cheese." Yo, Inuyashi's like, "Hey man, stop all that boo loving. Stop all that simpery. Stop that simpery." Nekomamushi says, "Meow, roll roll." And then Okiku says, "Hee hee, that's so sweet, Master Ken." And Razu looking mummified. "Oh, wish I had a girl." Or it says, "Focus on your recovery, Razu." Then we see Carrot eating dumplings, or she's eating like shish kebabs. "What's up? You called for me, Duke, Dog Storm, Cat Viper?" And Urashi says, "Ah, there you are, Carrot." And I'm assuming that's Nekomamushi. Says, "Yugara will be the new king of Mokomo Dukedom." The king, yay. Sure thing. So, hold on. Okay, so I'm assuming Inu and Nekomamushi, they're going to stay in Wano, and they just appointed Carrot the new leader of the Minks. I mean, why Carrot though? I'm assuming Carrot. I could be wrong. But Carrot kind of answered, so they're appointing Carrot as the new leader. If that's the case, that kind of kills the whole Carrot for Straw Hat and I'm sure a lot of people are happy about that, because I know there's a lot of people who don't like Carrot as a Straw Hat. So, and personally, I used to be kind of a supporter of Carrot being a Straw Hat, just for the fact that she's a fighter. You know, it would be like another woman to kind of balance the crew. that also fights because Nami and Robin, though they can fight, they're not like real hand to hand fighters. Like Robin more is a devil fruit user fighter, where Nami, she uses like her weather tricks and stuff, But as far as like being able to throw hands, neither of them are that good. Robin knows a little bit though. She learned a little from the Revs, but I thought Carrot would make a good addition because she brought that fighting aspect. But now that we got Yamato in the picture and Yamato as potential another Straw Hat, I'm actually fine with Carrot not being part of the Straw Hats. So because Yamato could fill that role even better than Carrot can, and she is like probably up there with the monster quintuple. I say quintuple because we got Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei at the moment. So she would be up there with them. So it would be like the Monster Five or whatever. So I don't even know what you pentuple. I don't know the word for that. Hey, who would y'all rather be part of the Straw Hats? Yamato or Carrot? Or either. It doesn't have to, or neither. I mean neither. It doesn't have to be neither. Which one would y'all rather see part of the Straw Hats? You hear, wait, King? No way. I can't do that. And Urashi says, well, the truth is Cat and Hai have decided to stay here in Wano and serve Lord Momonosuke as samurai of the Kozuki clan. Yugurara are one of the few who've been out to see the world thanks to Luffy. That means you must have some what we'll need in the next era. That makes sense though. I was kind of thinking that's why they chose her, because though she was young, though she is young, compared to the other minks, she has more like experience being outside of just Zunisha. And that makes her capable of making diplomatic decisions based on like the outside world. Kara says, but there are so many people who are way stronger than me. And then the Dog Storm Three Musketeers. I forget the guy with the leader of the Musketeers name is. I forget his name. He says, of course there are. And our job is to protect the country. And Wanda, I'll help you too. This was the two kings' decision, Carrot. And I think Enyu says, but most importantly of all, your Tia heart carries Pedro's will in it. And then Kara says, Pedro. To sum it up, we're leaving Zoe to Yugurara young folks. And then we hear somebody says, grandfather. Yes, I am Odin's father. So we got Sukiyaki Koski. And he says, I'm sorry, children. I'm sorry. Thank you. You truly do look just like Odin, Momonosuke. Grandfather. And we see Momonosuke crying and Hiyori crying. We've lost our parents. Just knowing that another relative is still alive is such a relief. And then Hiyori says, I feel the same way. Please don't apologize. It's kind of an asshole move, though, if you think about it, right? He was alive this whole time, and Hiyori was off being a prostitute in a sense. Why her grandfather was still alive? Like he couldn't take her from that lifestyle, because his undercover identity was more important. Man, I'm kind of disappointed in you, Koski Sukiyaki. I'm a little disappointed. Sukiyaki says, I suppose you were all aware then. Kawamatsu says, who would wear a Tengu mask when there is no festival? You did not seem like an ordinary blacksmith. And then Okiku says, we thought it would be rude to reveal it. And then Sukiyaki says, I'm sorry to have put that burden on you. And then Kinemon says, he was Lord Sukiyaki this whole time? I had no idea. I thought my heart was going to leap out of my chest. At least he's alive though. That part's good. Yo, that fits Kinemon's personality so well to be the only one not in the know, bruh. I'm telling you, bro, this makes me like Kinemon's character so much more. I feel like I feel like this chapter is kind of boosting points for Kinemon. Like, if we could go back to the tier stream, I would probably boost Kinemon a lot higher just off of this chapter. I would boost him up a lot higher, bro. Like, I love his cluelessness sometimes. His he's like the buggy of the crew, or I don't want to say buggy, but and not the crew. He's kind of like he's like a little incompetent, but his incompetency ends up working out, kind of like Buggy in a way, you know. That's funny though. Sukiyaki says, "I have things that I can teach you, but that is all I'm good for anymore. After that, please let me resume my seclusion from the public. This era is yours to build." Hey, so hey. So I remember Threevil. Threevil, he called the whole Sukiyaki still being alive, but he also said Sukiyaki is going to be the Shogun of Wano. He's going to reclaim that position. That's not looking like it. That's not looking to be the case. Which I'm glad, because I said Momonosuke is going to be the Shogun and he needs to stay in Wano. And I still believe that. I still believe that Momo should be the Shogun and he should stay in Wano. He can always leave Wano on his own accord. He doesn't have to, like, he could leave and come back at any moment. He's the Shogun. He has that power. So it, for me, it's good to see that he, most likely, I could still be wrong. Things could change. But as it's looking like Momonosuke is going to be the head of Wano, and Sukiyaki Kosuke is going to remain retired. And I do like that decision. I like that decision. Kinemon says, "Yes, sir. Just knowing you're alive is a source of great strength." I'm still shocked. All right, then we cut to the Straw Hats. "What? Pluton is in this country?" says Frankie. Robin says, "Yes, I wasn't able to see it for myself, but it is here." And Frankie says, "Can't believe that thing actually exists." And then we see all the Straw Hats just lounging. Luffy says, "The one Frankie burned the plans for." And then Robin says, "That's right, the ancient weapon Pluton, which bears the name of a god. Do you want it, Luffy?" And then Luffy says, "Nah, I'm good." It's just like, Luffy, what do you need Pluton for? And then Rob said, "That's what I figured. But it makes me wonder, why did Oden want to unleash such a thing?" Yeah, man, I'm loving it. I'm loving what we're getting right now. We talking about Pluton right now. Robin is finally sharing this information with the Straw Hats. Luffy specifically says, "Nah, I'm good." But there will come a time where they're going to need to get Pluton. I believe, at least. I believe that there will become a time where Pluton will be necessary. Once he learns the truth. I'm believing it's after they get the Laugh Tale and they learn the truth, Luffy is going to be like, "Hey, it's time to get Pluton. It's time to release the Kraken. It's time to release the Kraken. Release the Kraken." Okay, so right now I'm looking. We got a young looking Shinobu. Okay, Shinobu. Okay. She was talking all that sexy jutsu and stuff. Okay. Shinobu had the Alvida glow up. She had the Alvida glow up. Okay. I mean, maybe not just as good. Alvida had a good glow. Let's be. I'm just saying. Shinobu says, "What was that?" You see Otama next to Shinobu throwing up the little ninja sign, little ninja gang sign. He said, "Did I hear you saying that a mature woman can be a devastating weapon?" they talk about Pluton and stuff. And they said, "Who the heck are you?" Shinobu says, "It's me, Shinobu. I'm just a little haggard from an incident or an accident." And Sanji's like, eyes popping out, his hard eyes. "Really? You're so beautiful when you're haggard." And we see Otama and Nami pretty much like jumping at Otama. And she says, "Hey, big bro, I'm Shinobu's apprentice now. I'm going to be real tough by the next time you see me. Then you can let me join your crew." And Nami says, "Otama, you're too cute." And Luffy says, "Sure, if you can use ninjutsu by then." We see Caribou. And they say, "Yay." And Caribou's thinking to himself, "I don't believe it. Pluton and Wano? First Poseidon. Now this? I gotta let a certain someone know about this." Oh, bro, Caribou is he's vastly becoming one of the most important characters in the series. Like side characters, bro. He knows about Poseidon. He knows about Pluton. Hey, soon he's going to know about where Uranus is. He's like always there to just find out some secret information, you know, bro. And who is he talking about? Who is this certain somebody he is talking about? That's the scary thing. Blackbeard, maybe. Blackbeard. And if it's Blackbeard, remember Blackbeard said something about reclaiming he was reclaiming something that the world government didn't want or whatever, something along that line. I forgot what exactly he said in his words. If Caribou told Blackbeard and Blackbeard knows about Poseidon, maybe Poseidon's the thing Blackbeard was talking about. I mean, I don't know who this certain someone is. You know, I'm thinking Blackbeard. Because I don't know who else, you know, like I don't think he'll be Shanks. You know, I don't, you know. I don't know who it'd be. That's wild. All right, so we kind of jump forward in time. It says days later. And we see in Wano, they're kind of going back to their normal lives, except without the oppression, you know. Like we got a guy carrying fish, and you know everybody seems to be a bit happier. Somebody says, "Lord Shogun, we have the reconstructional plans from each domain now." And then we see Momonosuke. He says, "As for the funds needed," Momo looks, and then you hear like some chatter. I think that's somebody walking. I think that's Momonosuke walking. We see some kids playing, and the guy says, "Shogun, Lord Shogun." I think that was that girl who Queen attacked, and Sanji thought he attacked her. And then everybody's saying "Shogun" as he walks past. Momonosuke says, "Hey, Zoro, will you teach me some sword fighting?" All excited. And we look at that room that the Straw Hats were in, and it's like empty. So, you know, the Straw Hats that made their escape. And somebody say, "Neeks. Zoro, Luffy, Zoro." I don't know who Neeks is. And we see Momonosuke running through the hall saying, "Onami, Usopp, Sanji, Choppermon, Robin, Frankie, Bonkichi, Jinbei. Where is everyone? Paping, paping. Hiyori, have you seen Luffy's group anywhere?" And then we see Hiyori and Otoku playing their little shamisen. And Hiyori says, "They've left already. They said their goodbyes to everyone this morning." Otoku says, "I missed them." Okay, so one theory I kind of thought or I believed was maybe Vegapunk or Chopper was going to heal the Ibisu town of their laughing. Like, but looking at Otoku, she still has that condition. So I guess they haven't found any cure for that. At least yet. Maybe that could happen later in the story. And Vegapunk, I don't know if he's coming into Wano at this point in time. And then Momonosuke says, huh? But they said nothing to me. Kinemon says, Lord Momonosuke. Momonosuke says, Kinemon, Luffy's gone. I just learned that myself. They said their goodbyes to everyone else, but why not us? I guess they're going to run to go see him. Maybe they'll catch him as they're leaving or something. But how do they leave? I guess they can use the elevator in Wano to get down instead of going down the waterfall again. That's not safe. That's not safe. So we go to Tokage Port. Law says, pick a different day, Straw Hat. The alliance is over. We're enemies now. So they're all going on the same day. Luffy says, too bad. We already decided on today. Kid says, oh well. Guess we're all going now. Let's pick directions. Kid says, the middle one, east. The middle one, east. And then Law says, northeast. Law says, so I get my choice. So Kid and Luffy both chose east, but Law chooses northeast, which is still kind of east. We see the log post. It says the log post needles are fixed in 3 directions: northeast, east, and southeast. Pick one. Okay, so we never actually got an explanation of how those log posts work. But now we are. Now we get a bit more explanation. They all point in different directions. And I guess except when they're affixed to one island, they might point in the same direction. And these are the New World log posts, because back in, I think, Grand Line, it worked. It just points to the next island. Because I think it was just one log post to point to one island. And then the New World log posts, they have 3 different directions you could go. We see a little diagram. There's an island to the southeast, and there's east, and then it looked like it's another east, right? But I'm assuming one's northeast. I'm assuming the one on the bottom is northeast. The one in the middle is just east, and the one at the top is southeast. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because we get a compass that just points to each direction. And then Law says, going northeast means I move the furthest ahead. And then Kid and Luffy looks in shock, and they say, And Law says, you picked the middle, stupid children. Now I bet they're going to want to go southeast, or they're going to want to go northeast as well. Luffy says, no, I lost at straws. I'm sorry, everyone. Kid is saying east. And then Usopp says, every direction is dangerous. It doesn't matter. Just help us load up, Luffy. We see Luffy sticking his tongue at Kid. And he says, darn, I lost, even though I'm an emperor of the sea. And the Kid says, you're going to rub it in my face, huh? Hey, Kid, according to Big News Morgan, you are an underling of the Straw Hat Pirates. So you better listen to your boss. Kid says, but when it comes to the emperors, the one who really makes me mad is him. Oh boy, I know who we getting. Oh, we got Buggy, the genius jester, Buggy. And then we see Dracula, Mihawk, and Sir Crocodile supposedly under Buggy. And it says, the Cross Guild. And it says, huh? What's this? Bruh. If you got Mihawk on your crew, I mean, bruh. Mihawk himself, I'll put him up there with if he's rivaling, if he was Shanks' rival, Mihawk himself is definitely, I would say, Yonko level. Come on now. So he could technically be the Yonko of the crew, but I wonder where they got this, right? Did Mihawk show up to help Buggy? And they kind of assume like, hey, Mihawk showed up to help Buggy, so he must work for Buggy. Like, what brought this on? I want to know what brought this on. I knew Mihawk was in this chapter though because I seen so many like videos, like so I kind of was a little spoiled on it, you know, because I seen so many people talking about Mihawk all of a sudden, and a lot of people talking about Buggy. So it's like, oh man, y'all just can't just not spoil stuff. So Luffy says it's Crocodile and Hawkeyes, and then Zoro says what? Like even Zoro don't believe this. I know Zoro don't believe this. Says why are they shown like they're Buggy's followers? And then Zoro says, huh? That's not possible. Not for Hawkeyes. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. Bro, damn you, big news Morgans. Don't you be demoting my dog Mihawk to Buggy's underling. No, that's not what we doing. That's not what we doing. We're not doing that here. We're not doing that here. This is exactly why I don't believe anything that comes from Big News Morgan, or I don't accept anything that comes from this guy. So yeah, Zoro says, "Han, that's not possible, not for Hawkeyes." And Law says, "Well, if he's got two men of their stature working for him, he deserves to be called an emperor." I mean, that's facts. That's facts. If he got Mihawk, if Mihawk does work for Buggy, if like Mihawk actually is working for Buggy, Buggy wins, man. Buggy wins. Luffy says, you know he's an idiot, right? How did that happen? Kid says, it seems like this cross-guild company he leads has started putting bounties on the Navy. Bro, Buggy out here putting bounties on the Navy, bro. Come on, son. Yo, Buggy out here bossing it, bro. He still don't deserve God tier, but bro, like S plus, I'll still get maybe bottom God tier. You know, going back to my stream. But Buggy out here putting bounties on the Navy. Come on, bro. Bro, Buggy is hilarious. Kid said the Navy's been used to doing all the chasing, but these days they have to fear assassinations from civilians. While we were stuck here in this closed nation, the world around us has changed quite a bit. No complaints about our respective courses. Once we set foot outside of Wano, we're in a fight to the death like all the others. Bro, Buggy is putting hits on the Marines, bro. He is putting hits on the Marines. But yeah, man, I'm kind of glad to see Kid, Law, and Luffy kind of go their separate ways, right? Because Law was starting to feel like a part of the Straw Hats, and I kind of ain't like that. You know what I mean? I like Law, but kind of ain't like him feeling like he's an underling of Luffy. It kind of kills his being a rival of Luffy, you know? So they should continue their rivalry, and hey, I'm excited to see when the next time they may meet up again, and if they are on opposite sides of the fence or if it's another alliance. I don't see Law and Luffy really ever being enemies. Law and Kid, or Luffy and Kid possibly, yeah. But I can also see Kid kind of being on friendly terms with him as well next time they meet. You know, despite his antagonistic manner, I could still see him somewhat being on the same side of the fence. So we see like a roll of paper get thrown to the ground, and it says "flop." And Killer picks it up and says, "What is that, Trafalgar? A copy of the Roll Poneglyph. You have just as much a right to it as we do. Only a trifling man would sneak out to a head start." Okay, so Law, you know, Law being fair, you know, being diplomatic. He's giving Kid's crew the Roll Poneglyph. But does it really matter? They can't read it. They can't read it. How they going to decipher it? Hell, it doesn't even matter if Law has a copy. He can't read it, unless Robin told him what it says. I don't know what they supposed to do with it. Killer says, so Kaido did have one of them. The same thing we took off Big Mom's general. So they have Big Mom's poneglyph as well, I'm assuming. And then Killer says, Fwa fwa fwa, we're going to have to put all of our strength into this task if we want to take part in the all-out war over the One Piece. Then Kid says, what you mean finding the man with the burn scar? That's not enough to go on. And Luffy says, huh? Burn scar? What do you mean? And then Law, you kind of see Law's face go blank. Robin just kind of looks like she's a little interested in what's going on. And then Kid says, you don't know? He sounds like we've got the advantage. Ha ha ha. Come on, tell me. What do they mean, the man with the burned scar? I'm curious. What do they mean by the man with the burned scar? He must be able to read poneglyphs. So yeah, this guy with the burned scar, I wonder what they can mean. And does Law know anything about this guy with the burned scar? I'm a little curious. Does Law know about this? Because his face is kind of blank, like he could know something. He doesn't want to admit it, right? And then Robin looks intrigued, like she might know something. Robin might know something. Cause she's like questioning, like, burn scar. Right? Like she might know, cause Kid is talking about this guy with the burn scar like he might be able to read poneglyphs. And I don't know if Kid knows that Robin can read poneglyphs, so I don't think he would have the advantage. All right, so we go to the Flower Capital. It says, are you going to Yamato? And Yamato says, that you, Momonosuke? I'm up here. Where is that? On the roof again. We see Yamato on top of the castle. And she says, well, I've made up my mind. Guess I'll go to Luffy and his crew. I'm going to live the way Kosuke Oden did. To be continued. Bruh. That was a good chapter, man. It's definitely a good chapter. Starting off with the cover story, we got Katakuri and Oven facing off the Vinsmokes. I want to see that fight, man. I want to see that fight. I don't know how the Vinsmokes come out of that, but I definitely want to see that fight because I gotta see my man's Katakuri back in the story. And bro, the chapter started off with a bang just off of the cover story. Just off of the cover story, cause Katakuri. Anytime you got Katakuri in the chapter, bro, that the stock of that chapter goes up in my book. It goes up, and bro, stock prices is rising, baby. The stock prices is rising. But yeah, so the cover story was dope. Yeah, so we know that Carrot is going to be the new king of the Minks, right? Because Nekomamushi and Inuyasha, they're both staying in Wano to fulfill their duties as the Scabbards. Makes sense. That does make sense. Carrot, I could see why maybe some people would disagree with Carrot being the leader of the Minks, but she is one of the most experienced of the Minks when it comes to the outside world, right? And especially since one of the things that, one of the goals of the Minks and just, I want to say One Piece in general, it's to connect people, so there's no borders, right? The fishermen want to come to the surface. So I would also think that the Minks would want to be around people as well. And they don't have that much experience with humans. So Carrot will be that bridge from the outside world to Zoe, So I think it makes sense. I think it does make sense. All the strong people, they're still going to be warriors. It makes sense in my book. Despite her age, she will also have guidance from more wise people than her. So I'm not against that decision. And as far as her not being a straw hat, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it because we've seen at the end of this chapter, Yamato decides to go to the Straw Hats. So, hey, we getting Yamato for Straw Hat. It's looking like it is a foregone conclusion. I'm not gonna say that just yet because at the end of the day, Luffy has to give that thumbs up. I think he will. He might put a little resistance up at first, but I don't I could see it happen. I don't think Luffy's gonna not accept it. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. Kinemon and Otsuru didn't still haven't officially had their reunion because Otsuru I want to say might have been unconscious when Kinemon was around her. So they still got to meet up, but at least we know that they will. I don't think we might see it at this point. I think we're leaving Wano next chapter. Next chapter, I think we'll probably still be in Wano because Yamato has to go meet with the Straw Hats, and potentially be asked to join. So I could see us staying in Wano for another chapter. Sukiyaki Koski, he had his reunion with his grandchildren. But Momonosuke is looking like he's still going to be the shogun of Wano, which I agree with. I think that should be the case. Have this young leadership, and I'm glad Momonosuke is not going with the Straw Hats like a lot of people believed. So yeah, one of my favorite parts of this chapter though was Kinemon learning that Sukiyaki Koski was Tengu. Like all the other scabbards kind of knew. They kind of like, yeah, I thought it was a little fishy. This guy would be wearing a Tengu mask when it's not like a celebration. So we kind of put two together, and we just kind of assumed it might be you. And Kinemon was like, hold on, I was clueless in this whole situation. It just plays the Kinemon's character, making me like Kinemon even more. It kind of reminds me of when Kinemon gave that whole game plan of with the painting that he draw meme, like that whole symbol meant for them to meet at a certain place, and Kinemon meant for it to meet. I forgot where they were supposed to meet. I forgot which port they were supposed to meet, but everybody else translated to meet at Tokage port. If I'm correct, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But the fact that Kinemon was actually wrong, or everybody seen it as something different, it actually worked out for him, and everybody was like, "Oh, Kinemon, you're a genius. Oh, you tricked the trader. Oh," and it was like Kinemon was like, "Hold on, that's not what I meant, bro." Yo, Kinemon be having some dope moments, bro. Like his character is just, he's a great character, man. He's a great character. So yeah, we got the reunion with Sukiyaki Koski and Momonosuke and Hiyori, which kind of like, bro, like I was looking at Hiyori. She was living as like a geisha or Orion. She was an Orion, which is just kind of like a high level geisha to a degree, you know, which kind of a prostitute. Let's I know I probably shouldn't be using that word on YouTube or Discord, but it's called a spade a spade. But this whole time, her granddad was alive and just allowing her to live in these conditions, which is kind of sad, man. It's kind of sad. I mean, I don't think he already had to do anything strange for a piece of change, but you know, just saying. Now we also got Robin telling the Straw Hats about Pluton and how Pluton is at Wano. They talked about why Odin wanted to get Pluton, so the importance of it. Luffy denied, like, look, I don't need Pluton. Like Robin asked Luffy, hey, do you want Pluton, Luffy? And Luffy was like, nah, I'm good. I think there will come a time where they will need to get Pluton. But for now, they don't need it. And I don't think they need it. I don't think they need to get it so prematurely. But The moment that stuck out about this whole time we got Caribou pretty much listening into this conversation, which is elevating the importance of Caribou's character. Because Caribou, outside of the Straw Hats, Caribou is the only person who knows about Poseidon. And the only and Pluton as well. He knows who Poseidon is, and he know where Pluton is. And then he also says, I gotta tell a certain man. Who is that man? Now, my guess at the moment, the best person I can think of is the other Luffy. The Luffy back in Sabaody. Nah, I'm joking. Not him. Not him. But I'm thinking Blackbeard. Because I don't know who else is relevant enough for him to have to tell, that is also going to be able to use that information and do something with it. I mean, unless it's a new character that we don't know somewhere in the shadows, like let's say Zebek is alive and not living in Blackbeard like my theory states, but Zebek is alive like on his own. Could be Zebek. I don't think that's the case, but that's just kind of me saying that. I don't know. So we also seen Shinobu looking a lot younger, had her little glow up. We know that Otama is going to pretty much stay in Wano and, act as an apprentice to Shinobu. Now, one thing that kind of stuck out is the fact that the Straw Hats left without telling Momonosuke or Kinemon that they was leaving. Like, those were the only two people. The two people that the first two people they met, right? The two people who kind of started this whole Wano journey, back in Punk Hazard. They didn't tell them, Now, was it because they couldn't find them? I don't know. Maybe they purposely didn't want to tell them for whatever reason. But I think they will kind of have their last meeting, Yamato, Momonosuke, Kinemon will run down to the port, or no, even better, Momonosuke can turn into a dragon. So if they end up leaving Wano before, Momonosuke and Yamato catches up to him, and Kinemon as well, Momonosuke can turn into a dragon and fly to the Straw Hats. Maybe that's why they didn't tell him. Maybe it's all part of Luffy's plan to force Momonosuke to, use his flying to say his goodbye. Because back a while ago, back early in the arc, Momonosuke was afraid to fly. And that was one thing that was apparent back in Punk Hazard when Luffy almost forced Momonosuke to go into his dragon form and fly him out there, that little trap that they were in, him and Luffy. So could be like Luffy's way of just kind of forcing Momonosuke to have to fly, do something that he used to be afraid to do. It was also a dope moment to see like the three, I want to say the monster trio of the supernova, them kind of have their little conversation on where they're going to go. Kid and Luffy both choose to go east, and Kid decided to go northeast. And, we got a little explanation about, how the log posts work again. Somebody reminded me we got an explanation of how they work back in Fishman Island. But I guess it was nice to get a refresher, of how they work. And then the biggest reveal of this chapter, the biggest reveal was the whole Buggy alliance with both Mihawk and Crocodile under Buggy. Oh my goodness. Damn you, Big News Morgans. Because I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't believe Mihawk is actually serving under Buggy for 1 second. But it was still funny that is now going to be a thing. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, but damn you, Big News Morgan. Damn you, Big News Morgan. Um, but even funnier, yo, they got Buggy out here putting contracts, putting bounties on Marines. The Marine, it ain't safe for the Marines to walk the streets no more. It ain't safe for them to walk the streets no more. They gonna have berries on their heads, which is hilarious to me that Buggy is running that whole thing. Buggy like, nah, bruh, we not about to do that. Y'all not about to put no bounties on me. We putting bounties on you clowns. I'm the clown, but y'all the clowns for doing such stupid, for messing with Buggy D Clown. Bruh, come on. Come on. Buggy's stock is rising. Buggy's stock is rising. I gotta be converted now. Buggy's stock is rising. You know, it is what it is. But that's wild. That's wild. But I'm glad, like, Zoro knows BS though. Zoro knows BS, and even Luffy knows his BS. Luffy's like, hey, nah, bro. He said, you know he's an idiot, right? How did that happen? while Long Kid is both giving Buggy all his props, Luffy like, I don't know about all that, man. I was trapped in prison with this man. He's not the most savviest. He's not the sharpest knife. I mean, like, I can kind of see Mihawk working with Buggy, but I kind of think, because just seeing how this is like a cross guild and it's not a pirate crew, it's more of a like the actual dynamics of it is probably like you got Mihawk, you got Crocodile, and you got Buggy, and they're all kind of like an alliance. But Buggy being who he is, he's making it look like he's the actual leader of that. I just don't think Crocodile and Mihawk are following Buggy. They might let him take all the shine and the credit, which gives him kind of like that whole that leadership look. But I don't think they're actually following him. They're just kind of like, hey, we're equals. You know that, right? We could both individually kill you, Buggy, but let's be serious here. We also seen Law give Kid and his crew like a copy of the Poneglyph in Wano, pretty much saying, look, we all kind of fought for this, like we all kind of deserve this copy because we all were pretty much responsible with taking down Kaido and Big Mom and, winning this war. So I think we should all share in this, the spoils of it. We know that Shaw has got a copy as well because Robin was there. So she probably read it, and she probably don't even need a copy because she probably read it and probably could remember. Or maybe she got a copy just for reference sake. Memory isn't always the best thing to rely on. So I would believe that she probably got a rubbing of the poneglyphs. But the thing that stuck out to me the most was Kid saying the guy with the burn mark. The guy with the burned scar. And Luffy's like, huh? Who you talking about? Hey, share that information. We see Law looking kind of like he ain't want to say nothing. He ain't want to say nothing. Like, he might know who this guy is as well. He don't want to say nothing either. Robin looked like, what? Like, is there somebody else in this world that knows how to read poneglyphs outside of me? Like, do I know this person? Bruh, that right there, that right there, that moment, to me, this moment here gives me the most questions of this whole chapter. It gives me the most questions of it. To me, this just opened up a whole can of worms right here. It opens up a whole can of worms. A lot of theories that I can see are going to come out. I'm gonna have to. I know somebody's going to come out with some theories. So hey, if y'all see some theories, definitely send them my way because we're going to have to react to it. We're going to have to react to it. Who is this man with the burn scar? And it had, bro. Now that I think about it, it has to be somebody from O'Hara because remember O'Hara got it got destroyed and the whole place was on fire. So whoever this person is, they got burned in O'Hara most likely. Could it be Dr. Clover? Could it be Robin's? I was gonna say Robin's mom, but I think they said it's a guy. I think yeah, they said it was a man. So, bruh, bro, oh man, that's come on. Yeah, and then to top this chapter off, we got Momonosuke and Kinemon pretty much talking to Yamato, asking Yamato, will he go with the Straw Hats? And she says, yes, I decided, I want to go live like Odin. So I'm predicting next chapter, Yamato, Kinemon, and Momonosuke goes to meet up with the Straw Hats as they're leaving, possibly. But next chapter I can see being the official final chapter of Wano. That's the chapter, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on the chapter? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me on anything? How did you feel about the chapter? Let me know in the comments, y'all. Also follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And join the Discord. They will all be in the description box below. So it's your boy Sean P. the Blunt Guy, and I'm out of here. Peace.